They were almost at the track field for practice when someone's loud comment caught their attention. Bet practice is going to be brutal. Can't wait to see these humans totally wipe out, weaklings that they are. Violet's head whipped around to face the jerk who'd just spoken. Even without Alice, her walking encyclopedia, she could tell from his words that he was a werewolf. Only those arrogant werewolves got a kick out of human suffering. Maybe she was prejudiced because Violet still couldn't wrap her head around humans and werewolves peacefully coexisting at school. It was a ticking time bomb. The werewolf must have felt her glare because he turned, his eyes locking with hers. He looked momentarily surprised, then his eyes narrowed and he growled. "What are you staring at, pray?" Violet raised an eyebrow. Oh, so that's how he wanted to play it? Unfortunately for him, she had a smart mouth that usually got her into trouble, not out of it. She licked her lips, ready for the coming showdown. Alice seemed to sense her intentions. Her eyes widened, and she shook her head, silently warning her to back off. Too late. "Oh, I'm sorry," Violet shot back. "Are you, dying for my attention, dog?" And there it was. Alice gasped. Pretty much everyone nearby did too. Oh no, she didn't. But Violet did. Everyone within earshot froze, like Violet had just committed a major crime. Seconds later, whispers started, and Violet caught snippets like, "She's so dead, and Grant's gonna rip her apart." Despite the ominous whispers, Violet felt strangely confident. She refused to back down from bullies. Well, kind of. "What did you just call me?" The werewolf Grant growled, his nostrils flaring as his wolf started to emerge, triggered by her words. "You mean the same way you called me prey? Or can't you take a joke, dog?" She sassed back. "Violet!" Alice cried, desperately trying to pull her away, but Violet wouldn't budge. She was bigger than Alice, and the smaller girl couldn't move her an inch. Violet saw the moment Grant's eyes flashed amber, his wolf taking over. While she might be impulsive and hot-headed, Violet wasn't completely stupid. She started mentally calculating how many steps it would take to reach the exit where help would surely come. She was positive it would. "I'll teach you a lesson today," Grant growled, a mix of man and wolf, as he lunged toward her. Violet braced herself to run when, suddenly, someone stepped in. A strong hand grabbed Grant's arm and in front of everyone's shocked eyes, pulled. The sound was sickening. A wet, cracking noise of shattering bones filled the hall. "Oh, God!" Someone gasped behind her, followed by the sound of vomiting. Thankfully, it wasn't Alice, or she would have been splattered. Violet froze, eyes wide with shock as Asher Nightshade took over. He wasn't some fairy tale prince swooping in to save the day. No knight in shining armor here, just a dark knight, rescuing her with an aura of pure menace. "Hello, Grant," Asher drawled, his voice dripping with possessiveness as he crushed the werewolf's arm like a plastic toy. "Did I just hear you call my Violet your prey? Hasn't anyone told you that I, and only I, hunt her alone?" Normally, Violet would have rolled her eyes at his words and argued, but she was too horrified to speak. She could only stand there, dumbfounded by Asher's brutal display of dominance. "I'm so sorry, Alpha," Grant moaned, his earlier bravado replaced by desperate pleas. Asher remained unmoved. "Really, are you?" His voice was ice cold as he twisted the arm further. "Heck, I am. I seriously am." "Dad," Grant cried out like a child as Asher applied even more pressure. "Naughty Grant. No, what do you do when you're sorry?" Asher teased, glancing at Violet. Grant followed his gaze and seemed to get the message. He instantly bowed his head, stiffly, and stammered, "I'm so sorry, Miss Violet." "What are you sorry for, dog?" Asher taunted, chuckling like he was enjoying the whole thing. "That psycho!" "For trying to hurt you. It will never happen again." Grant apologized, his tone sincere now, realizing Asher wasn't in the mood for games. "There you go." Asher finally let go, and Grant gasped like a drowning man surfacing for air. The move had looked simple, but Asher had not only broken bones but also dislocated Grant's shoulder. It had been pure hell. "Now move along, doggy. Go find the school nurse and have her deal with that nasty injury." Asher dismissed him with a wave, and Grant shuffled away, head hung low, the crowd parting to let him leave. With Grant gone, Asher turned his attention to Violet. The look on his face told her he intended to, well, she wasn't sure, but it wasn't good. Oh no. Standing up to Grant hadn't scared her, but the dark, unsettling smile on Asher's face sent shivers down her spine. Nope, not doing this. Violet spun around to run, but Asher moved just as fast, grabbing her around the waist as if he'd predicted her move. "Put me down, you jerk!" she yelled, struggling as he effortlessly tossed her over his shoulder. Her weight seemed like nothing to him. "That is how you thank your savior, my Violet?" He laughed, continuing to walk, unfazed by her punches to his back. When his teasing became too overwhelming, he swatted her butt, and Violet instantly froze. "This has to be a nightmare," she thought. Violet hadn't planned on making a grand entrance onto the track field, especially not like this. After Asher smacked her, she froze, fuming inside. Screaming would only make things worse. Not that it mattered much. Being slung over Asher's shoulder like a sack of potatoes had already drawn way too much attention. She was a walking, talking spectacle, and she could feel hundreds of eyes burning into her. At least she managed to go limp, dangling there like she'd been forced into this ridiculous position. It would be a total disaster if anyone thought she actually enjoyed being hauled around by a psycho like some prehistoric trophy wife. And thank goodness she was wearing pants. The memory of that creepy guy commenting on her video about what was under her clothes still made her shudder, but even playing dead didn't help. The other students' eyes widened as they took in the scene. And then, of course, they whipped out their phones and started filming, their laughter echoing across the field. Fantastic! She was about to go viral on Newsfeed again. Glancing around, Violet noticed everyone was decked out in their team jerseys, each one sporting their dorm colors. West Dormitory, as always, looked sharp in their black and green being Lunaris Academy's official color. The other dorms followed suit with their own variations. East Dormitory in red and green, South Dormitory in orange and green, and North Dormitory in blue and green. As much as Violet hated Asher and his, which was currently at perfect eye level thanks to her upside-down predicament, she had to admit West Dormitory rocked their colors best. But she'd never tell him that. Never. Scanning the crowd, her eyes locked with Autumn's. Or was it Margaret Thomas? Violet could never keep track of which name the pure-blooded werewolf preferred. Either way, the murderous look in her eyes made Violet shiver. It wasn't hard to figure out why. Autumn clearly didn't want her anywhere near Asher. Wait a second. Was Asher hers? Oh, thank heavens! Freedom was finally within reach. Why was Autumn just standing there? Come and get your man. Violet didn't care if Autumn branded her a boyfriend-stealing hussy. She just wanted to be rid of Asher. That was her only prayer. But it didn't happen. Autumn just kept glaring until Asher carried Violet out of sight. "No!" Violet wailed internally. For a glorious moment, she tasted freedom. But it was a mirage. Suddenly, Asher dumped her unceremoniously in front of a man. A smug grin plastered across his face. "Caught one of the runners, Coach! Coach, just kill me now!" "Good job, Asher," Coach Jones said, clapping him on the shoulder. "We can't have any more of these humans skipping out on training." Violet almost lost it. The nerve of this guy, making it seem like she'd tried to ditch practice when it was totally his fault. She jumped to her feet, glaring at Asher, who just grinned back, his eyes hidden behind his shades. He knew exactly what he'd pulled. Her gaze then flicked to the coach. Instead of some pot-bellied, beer-gutted, whistle-blowing jerk like she'd had at her old school, this guy was, well, the opposite. Tall, broad shoulders, ripped muscles. He looked like a statue, and way younger than she'd pictured a coach. Definitely a werewolf. No human could look that good. "Join the others, Miss Purple," Coach Jones said, his voice a little sharp. "And don't even think about running off again. There'll be enough points deducted and punishments to make you regret it." Violet bristled. She shot Asher one last glare and flipped him the bird, which just made him laugh as he strolled off to join his buddies. She was fuming. This wasn't over. "Violet!" Alice popped up beside her, looking worried. "You okay?" "Just peachy," Violet muttered, her lips pressed tight. Oh, she was going to get him back for this. Asher might have won this round, but she'd get her revenge. Then Violet really looked around the field. Whoa! This place was huge. Different stations were set up for all kinds of activities. A crazy obstacle course with giant walls and swinging ropes, a high-tech climbing wall with moving panels, and a bunch of other stuff she couldn't even name. And then she saw it. A whole section roped off with banners that read, Advanced Training Area. That's where Asher was hanging out with the other werewolves, Violet scoffed. For a second, she'd thought maybe this place would be different, that the usual pecking order wouldn't matter. Guess she was wrong. Must be our lucky day. Even Alpha Roman's here, Alice said, looking over at the green-haired Alpha. Roman was laughing at something a girl, who was practically draped all over him, had said. Violet gagged. That's the jerk who'd almost gotten her killed by Griffin Hale, Mr. Manwhore himself. She hadn't forgotten what he did, and she still planned on getting even. Eventually. Lost in thought, Violet completely missed what Coach Jones had said until some girl jabbed her in the ribs. "Move it, Purplehead! Stop zoning out!" the girl snapped. Violet sighed. Some people never learn, do they? Hurry up! Move it! Move it! Coach Jones's urgent voice pushed Violet and the other students toward the track.
Hey, amazing viewers! It's Violet here. Thanks for sticking with us. By the time of the release of this video, only 9% of our viewers have joined the party by subscribing, and 91% of you might miss out on our next mind-blowing video. So what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and join the exclusive club.